Hello, this is a review of the movie Bereavement. Now, Bereavement is a film. It's in a slasher serial killer genre, and it's about this guy that lives in a slaughterhouse, and he's a serial killer, and he abducts a young boy, kidnaps him, and he has him live with him, and he attempts to train him to be a serial killer like he is. And into this plot line comes this young girl named Allison, who's played by this chick called Alexandria Daddario. And a little bit about her, I just recently found out about her. She's apparently one of the new Scream Queens. She's in a lot of these slasher flicks, or at least I've seen her in two of them. And I think she's well into her 20s, but she's still playing high school girls because she looks young. And she's pretty hot and has a nice set of boobs on her, so she's pretty good at these slasher flicks, because these slasher flicks generally have young, scantily clad women being chased by maniacs. So she fits right in this genre. Anyway, she plays a high school girl named Allison, whose parents were killed in a car accident. So she comes from Chicago, and she comes to live with her aunt and uncle in this small town, near the small town called Minersville, Pennsylvania. And she apparently was a track runner when she went to high school in Chicago, so she always goes out and runs. And the local high school that she's going to go to, they don't have any girls' sports at all, so she really doesn't have much to do at school. Anyway, this guy named Sutter, he apparently was raised by his dad, who worked in a slaughterhouse, or I think he might have owned the slaughterhouse, and he was never allowed to go to school. He was forced to work in the slaughterhouse instead, despite the fact that it's shown in the film that he knows how to read and write quite well. So I don't know, maybe he was homeschooled or whatever. And this guy Sutter, he's pretty whacked out in the head. He lives in the slaughterhouse, and he kidnaps young women. He kills them, tortures them, kills them, and he talks to a cattle head, a cattle skull that he's got mounted up on the wall. And apparently he hears this cattle skull talk to him too, because he carries on conversations with it. And I'm not making this up. And there's some other characters that are involved. There's a kid that lives a little bit down the road from Allison. His dad is an invalid. He was hurt in an accident and can't walk, and his mother killed herself. So that's kind of a plot line there. And eventually all these characters kind of come together. I don't want to give away the plot too much, but it's pretty much your standard slasher plot. Has a few twists to it. If you like this kind of genre of film, if you like, say, I guess I can compare it to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one, if you've seen that. It kind of reminds me of that. If you like that kind of film, or if you like the Friday the 13th series or the Halloween series, or any slasher type genre film, I think you probably would be interested in this film. If you're just a guy who wants to see a hot chick, this Alexandria Daddario, she's pretty hot. And if you're, I don't know, if I probably don't have any female subscribers, but if I do, hopefully you're not offended by some of the language I use in my reviews. I'm going to be talking about boobs and ass and stuff like this occasionally, and I'm not going to apologize for being a guy, and it's just the type of language that I use, and if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe, that's fine. Overall, I rate this film, I'd say maybe 3 out of 5 stars. It has pretty good plot to it, I guess, for a slasher flick. Pretty good acting. It kind of held my interest because I didn't really know where they were going to go with it, although it is somewhat predictable. Most slasher films are. As for blood and gore, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd probably give it maybe like a 2 or 3 for blood and gore. The blood and gore isn't real explicit. It's more what you don't see and so forth like this. So if you like these slasher type films, classic slasher type films with psycho weirdos living in slaughterhouses. You might want to check this out. And it's called Bereavement. I watched this on Netflix. And it's rated R for pretty much, I guess, violence and maybe a little bit of the language also. So as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And thanks for watching my reviews.